Ho ho ho! Hello everybody, this is Jam Creates here with another video. Today I'm gonna do, remember I was talking the other day, I don't know, well, remember, like I'm just assuming you watched my other video. If you watched the video I did the other day, I was talking about maybe doing some reviews of some Christmas movies and specials and things like that, like talking about some of that stuff, so that's what I'm doing here. Today I am talking about Christmas with the Kranks. I know the funny thing is my family and I love this movie. This is definitely one of our favorites, and I know critically it was not a loved film. I think it only got 2 stars, which is just kind of funny to me because, is it the greatest movie ever made? No, of course not. It definitely has some flaws, but it's super funny. Like, if you take it for what it is, the movie's funny, dude. The whole plot of the movie is ridiculous, of course. If you don't know, the movie is actually based on a book by John Grisham, which is kind of weird, because he's not known for writing, like, comedies, but, hey. It's about a married couple they have one daughter, and she's, probably in her 20s, and she's going away, joining the Peace Corps, and she's going to be away for a year. So the movie starts like Thanksgiving, and she's flying somewhere to South America. I forget where now. She's going to South America to join the Peace Corps, and she's going to be gone for an entire year. So she's just going to be gone. Like, she's going to miss Christmas and everything else, and they're really, the parents are upset. They're sad, of course. Especially her mother is, like, super upset. And so Luther Krank, who's the father, gets an idea of what if, to take their mind off of missing Blair, what if they decide to skip Christmas and go on a cruise instead? Use the money that they would normally spend to celebrate Christmas. They'll go on a cruise, and that way it'll take their mind off of missing their daughter. And so that's what they decide to do. And unfortunately for them, they live in the most Christmas obsessed street in the universe. It's actually, like, funny how insanely obsessed with Christmas their neighbors are and everything. And so what ends up happening is, where is he? Come on, I know he's here somewhere. No, there's a really good picture of him too. I don't know, I don't see it now. Oh, there it is. Vic Fromeyer, the neighbor, who is basically like the boss of the street, makes sure that everybody puts up their decorations, and then he also makes sure that everybody puts up their Frosty on their rooftop. And he's played by Dan Aykroyd, and I know some people probably are like, oh, Dan Aykroyd, he's seen better days, whatever. Dude, he's funny in this movie. He really is. And he has this ridiculous Chicago accent, which is hysterical. And everything is just, like, the funny thing about this movie is the plot is what it is. Like, it's a silly plot. Like, the neighborhood is conspiring against the two of them, against Nora and Luther Krank, not letting them skip Christmas. They don't want them to skip Christmas. They're going to make them celebrate whether they want to or not. So Luther's, like, crazy about his boycott. Like, he's insane about it, like, to the point where he won't buy a tree from the Boy Scouts. He won't buy a calendar from the police. All this nonsense. And Vic is like, oh, he's not going to buy a tree. He's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. Well, he's going to put up his Frosty, and he's going to decorate because it's a neighborhood thing, and blah, 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 blah. So, and it's just really funny, like, the things that happen. They're so over the top and so ridiculous. And one of our favorite things, my daughter, my wife, me, all of us constantly walk around. I mean, all year round, not just at Christmas time. We'll just randomly, out of nowhere, just go, Nora Krank, give us your Frosty. Because it's just funny. The way he says it, the way they do it, it's so over the top and so ridiculous that it's just funny. And so eventually it turns out that Blair is going to come home And so now, all of a sudden, the Kranks need to put together their Christmas that they were going to skip. So here's Luther trying to put Frosty up on the roof. So they have to try and all of a sudden get the whole thing together in a couple of days, because suddenly Blair is coming home. She's going to be home for Christmas, and she's expecting the big Christmas Eve party and all the other stuff and everything that they do for Christmas every year. She's expecting all the traditions and everything to be there, and they weren't prepped for that, so they weren't ready for it, so they didn't have anything for it. And so then suddenly they have to scramble to get everything together so that they can put on this wonderful, beautiful, perfect Christmas for their daughter, who's coming back from South America. And not only is she coming back from South America, but she's coming back with her brand new fiance, Enrique, who's never been had a Christmas in America. So they try to get the party together, and they have no friends ready to come to the party because it's so last minute. Nora tries to get a hickory honey ham, which leads to a really ridiculous scene in a supermarket where she tries to get the ham, somebody else gets it before her, there's only one left, and then she buys one from these people at the checkout line, and then as she's leaving, it falls out of her bag, rolls into the street, and gets run over by an 18-wheeler right in front of her as she screams. Jamie Lee Curtis is great in this movie. Tim Allen is great in this movie. It's funny because Jamie Lee Curtis has to do some scenes that honestly are kind of reminiscent of Halloween, in that she's being menaced by things not as scary as Michael Myers, but she's being menaced by Vic Fromeyer, bring us your Frosty. And then the carolers outside the window as they're rolling around the house trying to hide from them, and they're right outside the window and they scare her. Or when Vic is sticking his hands in the window and then his gloves get stuck and she screams, and it's just funny. But then the whole neighborhood comes together and saves Christmas for the Kranks, and he ends up making up with his neighbors across the street who he had issues with, and he winds up giving them the cruise that they were gonna go on, and the party turns out to be a big success, and Luther has a change of heart and really ends up enjoying his Christmas, and things turn out really nice. He gives the trip to his neighbor, who the wife has cancer, and there's silly music and just all kinds of fun at the end, and it's just a really, I think it's a very funny movie. If you want to analyze it like a film snob, you'll probably say, oh, it's a terrible movie and blah, 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 blah. But honestly, as just a normal dude who's just looking for a funny, silly Christmas movie, you can't go wrong with this one. Honestly, you really can't. It's fun. It's silly. It's funny. Everyone in it is funny. I mean, you can see Cheech Marin, Tom Poston, the movie is funny. There's ridiculous situations that Nora and Luther wind up in, and they do a great job of playing it all for laughs. It's over the top and ridiculous, and it's just a lot of fun. It's got some really good quotable lines. And bonus for people like me who are big fans of the series Chuck, General Beckman, yes, is in this. She's in it. Not a lot, but she is in it. And Big Mike is in it. He plays one of the neighbors. You'll see when Luther has to borrow a Christmas tree from the neighbor, he borrows it from Big Mike. There's just some funny stuff in the movie. It's silly, it's over the top, it's funny. When you first watch it, you might get annoyed by Luther and how harsh he takes his boycott, but it just makes the movie that much funnier. When you watch it, you'll realize, don't take it serious. Don't take any of it seriously. It's a comedy. It's silly. It's supposed to be silly and fun. And so for me, I would definitely recommend it. It's probably on Netflix. It usually is. So I would say if you're looking for a fun, silly Christmas movie to watch, I could definitely recommend Christmas with the Kranks. For us, it's become a tradition. We watch it every year, usually multiple times a year. So I mean, take that for what it's worth. We all enjoy it. It's silly. It's fun. If you're a normal person, I think you'll enjoy it. So that's it. So let me know what you think. Christmas reviews. Let me know what you think. Jingle that bell for notifications. Like, subscribe to the video. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. What do you think? Do you like the idea of reviews of Christmas movies and specials and stuff like that? Do you like this movie? What's your favorite line from the movie if you like the movie? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is this one of your favorite Christmas movies? Do you hate this Christmas movie? Let me know. What do you think of Christmas with the Kranks? I like it. I personally have a lot of fun with it. But you let me know what you think in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at jam_creates. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Let me know. All right? Ho, ho, ho. And that's it. I will see you soon. Peace out. Merry Christmas.